Hello and welcome to yet another video, and in this video I'll be actually covering a topic that I get asked quite a lot, especially when I'm traveling, and I usually get asked this question in person, which is, do I always need to bring so much gear with me? Do you always need to be bringing so much gear with you whenever you travel, and especially if you just want to document places and just be with the moment, capture the story, what have you? Of course, the short answer to all of those questions is no, you don't always need to be bringing so much gear with you, but of course there is a long answer to this topic, and that's why I'm making a video about it right now, in hopes that it will help some of you guys out. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So actually, for those of you who actually watched my photo shoot videos, you'll probably only see like my R, the R5 and the R6 with the 85 1.2, 50 1.2, 28 to 70 f2, 7200 f2.8 and 15 to 35 f2.8, and those are just kind of like small gear that I do bring around with me, but you don't really see all of the gear that's pretty much in my camera bags as well, which is obviously the A7 IV that's filming me right now with a 20 f1.8, the A7C as a backup, and obviously the Fuji X-T3 and all of the lenses and batteries for all of those systems. And also, if I'm going to be shooting film, I'll be generally bringing either the EOS 1, which is a Canon old film SLR, or the Mamiya 645, which is a nice medium format film camera from Mamiya, of course. And it just adds up to quite a bulky backpack setup. This is usually the backpack that I travel with. It's the Wondered Provoke 41 liter backpack, and sometimes I'll be bringing the tripod. If I don't bring a tripod, I also will just bring some sort of the substitute for a tripod, such as a Magic Arm. One quick tip: if you're going to be substituting your tripod for a Magic Arm, make sure that your Magic Arm is a proper durable Magic Arm, because the last thing you want is clamming your camera on a Magic Arm onto a rail that's extending into the river, things like that, and then the Magic Arm won't hold the weight and it just slips down into the river. You don't want that. You just want to invest in a proper Magic Arm, which will hold your camera weight and everything. So yeah, just a quick tip. It's going to be expensive, but it's definitely worth it if you're planning to substitute your travel tripod with a Magic Arm. Anyway, back into the topic of the gear. These are usually the gear that I do bring along with me. The R6 is behind, then obviously the A7 IV that I mentioned earlier, and I am 27 years old, which is not that old and not that young, but I do feel a huge difference between now and when I was around 17, 18 years old, when I was actually carrying a lot heavier equipment, even more gear than I do right now. Especially back then, it was the DSLRs, like the 5D Mark IIs, 5D Mark IIIs, things like that. Yeah, but I do definitely notice that I am not able to carry as much weight as before, and believe it or not, these are the setup that has been already kind of like shrunken down, shaved off a bit of weight here and there as well, and it's still a lot. And of course, that's also because I am filming also for YouTube and also for my online platforms as well, so I do need more than usual amount of equipment when I carry my gear along with me. So not only that, my main photography system being the Canon ones, I also take along my Fuji and my Sony to film stuff with me as well, and it also serves as a nice purpose to divide between most of the time photography equipment and most of the time filming equipment, because then the files get separated and also the equipment gets separated as well, and it's just easier to organize things that way. So for now, that's why it seems a lot more than usual. But even if I'm not filming for YouTube or for any online platforms, I am still bringing like my R5, R6, the R, and the lenses, the 7200 f2.8, the 50 1.2, the 85 1.2, the 28 to 70 f2, which is this really heavy lens right here, the 15 to 35 f2.8, things like that, the 100 to 400 millimeter lens. And yes, they are heavy, and they are a lot. But to me, I managed to find a balance between, okay, capturing the moment at the right time and then quickly put the gear away and enjoy the environment, the moment, and just, yeah, enjoy being in that moment. And of course, with the gear, with like the R5 and the R6, it's able to capture so much results, and the colors and the skin tones and everything are also kind of like in like what I tend to like out of a skin tone, what I tend to like out of the color reproduction and everything. And having so many results in such a short amount of time actually helps me to just capture everything that I want and just kind of enjoy the moment. And you know, I do know people that travel with just one camera and one lens, and you know, get a really good kit lens like the 24-105 f4, and that's their light setup, and that's how they can enjoy their moment. With me, it's also like I pick the gear that helps me to capture the results that, you know, I like, that also has meaning to me, but don't get in the way of like me enjoying my moment. And for me, that's just pretty much the answer. Do I need to bring all of those gear? Yes, I need to bring all of those gear. Well, not necessarily need, but rather like I am able to handle myself with all of those gear. Whereas, you know, if you're a type of person who gets caught up in so much gear with you, like, okay, what lens do I shoot at this particular situations? What camera do I shoot at that particular situations? Then I don't recommend you bring a lot of gear with you, because that will just add to the confusion, if you know what I mean. Because I used to be like that many years ago, where, you know, at some point I started carrying a lot of gear, even more gear than now, whether I was filming or not filming for the platform or for YouTube, things like that. And I would just be caught up in all of these technical things. And nowadays I am able to differentiate, okay, like I'm going to be capturing this and that. Most of the lenses will get its job done that I have, therefore I'll just be mounting let's say the 28-70 and then just capturing what I need to capture, or have a second camera body, which is the R6 typically, or the R, the third body, and then have all the other lenses, and then just capture what I need and then just put everything away and then just enjoy the moment. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I would simplify my answer, which is definitely know your balance, which is a good thing, because if you're always, you know, trying to capture a technical image, then you're not always going to be in the moment. And you know, with photography, it's such a beautiful art, but in the same time you also need to be in the moment as well. And that is something I also just want to share with you guys, because recently I bumped into a few photographers here in Bangkok who are just kind of, obviously different people have their own way of taking pictures and different philosophies, of course, and not judging them, but in the same time they were just always focusing on capturing you know, the right moment with the right gear and everything, and they bring a lot of gear with them, but every time they change their lenses, every time they bring out new cameras out of their bag, or just trying to get things right in camera, they also ignore a lot of the environmental aspect around them, on like what's happening around them, and also how the people are interacting with each other. They just want to, you know, be with their camera and get, you know, the image that has the less amount of distortion, the image that has less amount of color fringing, the image that has, you know, the most straight, perfect lines. And of course, those points are understandable, especially if you're traveling. But for me, if you're traveling and if you are not in the environment, it doesn't make sense to have, let's say, 10 lenses and 3 bodies with you, you know, if it doesn't help you to be with the environment. So if it helps you to be with the environment, then like by all means, you can even bring 20 lenses and 8 cameras with you, if it helps you, you know, or just bring one camera and one lens and that's it. You know, there are times when I actually just travel outside to just nearby cities, just bring one camera and one lens. Like sometimes it's the R5 with a 28 to 70 millimeter f2, because this is the lens that obviously full of contradictions, because none of the focal lengths in this lens is my favorite. Actually, I despise all of the focal range in this lens, but the optics, the character of the glass, and the aperture throughout the range and the sharpness throughout the range really makes this lens a versatile lens that I am able to just, you know, substitute everything and just bring this lens and the R5 with me, or sometimes just the A7 IV and the 21.8 because it's my favorite Sony setup, things like that. So at the end of the day, I guess the answer is if the gear, whether you go to minimal amount of gear or maximum amount of gear or what have you, as long as if it helps you to be with the environment, with the story, with the moment, then it's up to you to justify it, because in the same time, it's your back that you have to worry about as well, and also it's your moment that you want to remember. And if the thing that you want to remember is just the architecture detail or just getting a technical image, then of course that's you do you. But of course, if you want to remember a lot of the interactions with people, a lot of the like how the environment felt like to you, then obviously choose your gear that actually helps you to remember that and also engage in the environment as well. So yeah, this is kind of a short and weird video, but I just feel like making this video. I hope it's not too confusing, simply because I get asked quite a lot, and it's also hard to justify what gear makes you feel most connected or help you to be most connected or more connected with the environment and the story that you're capturing, whether you're just doing street photography or cityscape photography or what have you. So yeah, I would like to just leave it at that. Of course, I'm sorry that there is no one definite answer, but in the same time, as I just mentioned, there were times when I just bring all of these gears, and there were times that I just bring one camera and one lens with me, because I can justify that, you know, at that time only this gear will be able to make me, you know, be more connected with the people, with the environment, things like that. So yeah, I hope you can actually take something from this video, if not a lot, then a little. If you need a free photography guidebook, it's absolutely for free on my website. I'm still in the middle of developing more online courses, and as well as more free online courses as well. So yeah, please check them out. It's on my website. Otherwise, I thank you all very much for watching. Yeah, if you have any questions, any suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. If you have anything to share, also feel free to leave them down in the comment section below as well. Otherwise, I thank you all very much for watching. Stay safe, have fun shooting. Till next time, bye for now.